Being 6:30, I will call the September 6, 2022 Select Board meeting to order. If you would please join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Are there any additions to the agenda? I have no remarks. Is there anyone in the public that has anything to offer that is, for comment that is not on the agenda?
Just like, this is September, and in September and the 16th is the official day, is National POW MIA Recognition Day. I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. It's important that we do remember that. We'll note that in the minutes. Okay, approval of minutes for the regular meeting of August 16.
I move that we approve the minutes of the regular meeting on August 16th as written.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And then we have the minutes for the emergency meeting of the 17th.
We can't do those.
We still have,
Yeah, that wasn't Tuesday, wasn't that Wednesday?
yeah,
Wednesday the 17th. But we can't do those because it's Sam's
no, right, yeah. So those will get deferred until our next meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Warrants.
Alrighty. I move that we approve payment of the following warrant. 5T accounts payable, $97,843.24. 33S payroll, $12,874.32. 34S payroll, $12,769.02. 35S payroll, $11,536.14.
Second.
Any discussion? Questions? Okay. All those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And Chair, aye. Town Administrator.
All the information has been submitted to the consultants for the wage and salary survey, the compensation study. So that they've already started working on that. 2 weeks ago, I had visited 5 transfer stations with the director of Vernon Solid Waste and our Vernon representative also, to kind of look at the different layouts and the different options. I look forward to that feasibility study being completed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of options out there. The contents of the old schoolhouse has been organized next door. Some items are going to need to be disposed of, like old computers, printers. We've looked at them for hard drives and anything that needs to be taken care of. However, there's also some recordings of select board meetings that are going to need to be archived, and they shouldn't be over there, probably at the schoolhouse. And I know that there's also additional ones at the library, so I'm going to be looking into just getting a metal cabinet cover to be.
Oh, for over here.
For over here, yeah, archive them here.
Yeah. You know, the weather can't be doing them any good.
Yeah, I don't know how they stand up in the weather. The letter's been mailed out to Lieutenant French of the State Police requesting more presence in town. And I started working on updating the personnel policy, and I wanted everyone's thoughts about pulling together a committee to possibly contribute and assist with the process. So I have it in one fluid electronic format. I already typed it, and made the updates of what's currently, with the holidays, it's currently been approved, so.
The last time it was attempted to work on the policies, it was supposed to be a committee,
Okay,
of employees, townspeople, whoever wanted to be involved, so that
kind of pull everybody and see who's interested in being
You know.
involved.
may not be a bad idea. Yeah, probably put it out there.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Could I just add to that?
Sure.
A meeting or so ago, the recreation director talked to us in the executive session. I've put together a couple of proposed policies for the board to consider, but I have not. Seth has seen them, the town administrator has seen them. I have not had a chance to sit down with Seth and go through a couple of questions he had. I'd like to be able to do that before we bring it before the board, but I did want to update the board that we had moved forward on that and gotten a couple of things going on it, so.
And the last thing I had to add is our new custodian has been painting some of the areas in and around town hall and pressure washed the outside, and it's starting to look really, really nice outside the building. I just wanted to add that. That's all I
Thank you.
have.
Any questions of the town administrator? Well, thank you. New business, we have a fireworks permit.
I'll skip that one, he'll be here in a few minutes.
We are going to defer that. Let me just get to the next. We have a request of the library trustees to use the lobby of the town hall for a book sale. And this is a semi-annual book sale, is that how this?
Well, it is this year,
Okay.
and one of them was supposed to be here, but they're not. The trustees would like to do a book sale on September 24th, the same day as the townwide
Yep.
tag sale. And this would involve, setting it up a few days before and probably leaving it up for a couple weeks afterwards.
Same setup, pretty much?
Yeah. I don't think there'll be even as many books this time.
Any questions from the board? Entertain a motion to authorize or not?
I move that we authorize the library to use the lobby for the book sale.
Second. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, Mr. Root,
Aye.
Mr. Dunkley? Oh, you can vote this.
Aye.
Chair says aye also, it's unanimous.
Doesn't-
Friends of the Vernon Center have a request to bring forward regarding the ARPA funding that the town is receiving. Martin?
Okay. Do you all have a copy of this request? Because I have got extras. I'm prepared. Well, I have some extras, I'll pass them around. Around here, why not? So we've got ARPA funding, we put out a call for ideas and requests and so forth, and this thing here, so those guys can see. So here we are. I did come to you about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago and give an update on all the things that we had been doing, and don't particularly want to rehash that. Some of that is in this request write-up as well. But I did want to underscore that, you know, the Governor Hunt House, and not just the house, but the entire complex, is something that the town had kind of had its eyes on for many years. You know, Patty O'Donnell always said when they stop operating, they're gonna give that to the town. And, you know, the day came, a few more years went on because they were still doing things in that house, but then Entergy came to the town and said, you know, they'd like to give it to the town. In the meantime, we had also done the VCRD visioning process and other things where the people basically had prioritized ideas and said, you know, we really need a gathering place, a community center, that kind of thing, with specific reference to the Governor Hunt House. The development of the Governor Hunt House was included in the 2018 town plan. It was included in the village center designated area specifically for that reason, and in the master plan for the area. And so finally, you know, Entergy came and wanted to give it to the town. At that point, the town said, well, why don't the Friends of Vernon Center tackle this project? And so we did a little thinking about it, and we decided to do it. And that was about 3 years ago. We've been working at it pretty hard, I think, ever since. We have, I think I gave you a rundown on how much funding we had already garnered from various sources. Many townspeople have written checks, some very generous checks, to support this. We've done a considerable amount of work. We have a lot of work planned under our federal grant that'll happen next summer, but with, you know, with construction costs, especially inflation in construction costs, that grant is not going to go as far as we thought it would go. So, so we'd like to ask you for a total of $115,000, which is specifically to cover projects that are listed, which are an upgrade of the kitchen. The kitchen is very rudimentary and run down, not usable for events. An upgrade of the bathrooms, an outdoor performance space, gathering space outdoors, kind of on the far corner of the property, some flooring replacement in the conference wing, and some furnishings and equipment just to make it more useful. And the amounts are there. We've gotten quotes. Most of these are kind of rounded up, and you know, so if it came in at less than that, obviously there could be some savings that, you know, either we could ask the town if we could use it for other purposes, or return that for the town to use. All of this work should be done by sometime next year, and your deadline for deciding how to spend these ARPA funds is the end of next year. So basically, if there was any money left over, you'd have time to redirect it in some way. And you know, I want to point out that the house it's a historic house with a fairly modern wing added to it. We are working on various aspects of the historic restoration of the old house. You might have seen we did some sill work and other kinds of carpentry work over there. This summer there's going to be some roofing, there's painting. But none of this, what we're asking for, is not historic restoration. What we're asking for is things that are really directly going to improve the sort of the back part of the property for use as a community center and for hosting events inside and outside, you know, which all of which falls under the purposes of ARPA, of sort of very generally COVID relief, but you know, it would do that. And it would all be very visible, you know, it'd be things that we could point to people and say the town paid for this kitchen, paid for these bathrooms, paid for this furniture, and so forth. And it's about, I think, about 1/6 of the total amount of ARPA money that you have. If you'd like to spend more than that, we could probably come up with ideas if you've run out of options. But we're asking for 1/6 of what you have for $115,000.
Thank you. Anyone?
Questions?
And just one question about the operating costs, ongoing costs. Do you, at this point, do you have any estimate what after the projects are completed, what it would cost to take care of the place?
We don't, and that's a good question, and I meant to mention this in my request. So this is obviously, these are capital items. This is not operating funds. But I did mention last time I was here, and I guess I should mention today, that we would like to come to the town for your next budget, which, whenever you start on it, which is probably like tomorrow, to ask for some amount of operating funds. I, off the top of my head, I cannot tell you who, because we've not done that, sort of that budgeting work to figure that out. But, you know, we have a $5,000 insurance bill. We've been leaving the heat turned off in the winter, but we're doing HVAC work next summer, so we will have heating cost, air conditioning cost, and obviously we would minimize those costs. We have groundskeeping costs, you know, and just whatever other sort of general upkeep and repairs and an alarm system and things like that. Our income could be rentals, but, you know, that's not gonna be mega bucks. Donations from folks in town, but that's, if we're lucky, that'll cover the insurance bill.
Mhm.
So, you know, we will be coming to you with an operating funding request as well.
So a couple of quick questions. In the HVAC system that you're putting in or is being designed to be put in,
Yep.
is that gonna be with heat pumps or?
Yes.
Okay. And is Efficiency Vermont or GMP helping with that?
Yes, I've just gotten the quotes on that, that's not part of this.
Right.
But yeah, there will be heat pumps in several different areas, and it definitely qualifies for some efficiency Vermont.
And the other question I had is, would it be 115,000 is the ask, and that makes sense, you lined it all up. I'm wondering if there is a community development block grant that we could get, where we could, for, say, 120,000, and the town would then have to match 25% if successful. And there's other, I'm looking at alternate possible funding sources, not to say no to this at all. I'm just looking at things that might be available that could help, or maybe add on to what you're asking as well, and do more things.
Yeah, I don't know, I have not looked at that, because as an organization, we would not be able to apply for
Right.
those. We've looked at a lot of different kinds of grants. For example, the state has some historic restoration grants, but it's all kind of, very often it's just limited to the outside.
Yeah, the exterior.
Okay, and we think we've got the outside covered, you know, but those outside grants are for painting and roofing and glazing and chimney repairs, but not anything
Yeah.
indoors.
I don't know if the Northern Economic Council would have anything on that.
Northern Borders
Yeah.
that's another possibility, and that could be an operating grant.
Okay.
Okay, so I think, what we're gonna be looking at next is possibilities for operating grants, in which case we wouldn't have to ask
Right.
the town, but it probably wouldn't go on forever either, but, you know, maybe it would be a few
Okay.
year operating grant. So, I also wanna mention that I think we have a quorum of our board is here, okay? Sandra and Roger Rulowich and Deb Barriere and Kathy Korb and Ken Bloom and Maddie Farms and so you know, we are all here. We can vote to accept your investment here. And we hope that we have that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else on this? Okay. Mr. Jobin? Hi. The request from Mr. Jordan, it relates to a fireworks permit. And we have a lot of material that was provided to us, thank you for that, on that. And there needs to be a municipal permit as well. Could you just kind of give everyone here and in the televised watching area what we're doing?
On camera, we've seen that in the past. So the fundraiser that we're doing, actually, the fireworks are gonna be at, is for the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism. It's a pretty good organization. They do quite a bit with, well, all over the country, but, you know, in this area, they're out of Eastern Mass, if I'm right. So we're looking to do, we started it out as a chili and baked bean cook-off and quickly turned into a whole lot of other little things, a mix of it, touch a truck, bounce houses. We're gonna do a couple of different raffles. We had a smoker donated, so we're gonna raffle that off when we're there. And then we've got a live band that's gonna play from 4 to 8. Somebody wasn't smart enough to check to see what time sunset was, but I didn't realize that sunset was at like 7:15 that night. So we're actually gonna see if they can, I don't know what the rules would be as far as moving the fireworks back to like 7:30 if we could, if you guys end up approving it, but I think that to try to get people to stand around in the dark for 45 minutes is gonna be a big ask. Plus, it'll just get them done that much earlier. I don't know if they can do it that much earlier, I figured I was gonna ask them, but I don't know how many people I have to talk to about it in the process, so.
Well, the permit says approximately 8 o'clock.
Yes,
That gives you some wiggle room, I think.
I just don't know how much wiggle room's really there.
Well, it's gotta be 30 minutes either
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It's not like you're, changing the day.
Right.
Yeah, as long as the fire department's good with it.
Right, and I had heard that
I know
Alex
I'm
was.
one of the members on the truck and I have a class that night, but a little bit earlier isn't gonna hurt me, I'll still be there.
Yeah, I know Alex was talking about having Guilford come over too and
Yep.
hang out, so. I don't know if they've reached back out to commit yet, but
Not at the meeting tonight, I'm here.
I almost went down there, cause it was me driving by here when I realized that your car was here and not at the fire station, so I was like, well, let's go down to the fire station and talk about it.
Have you also asked the sheriff's department to provide traffic,
So,
or are you
I
gonna handle
talked
your
to-
own traffic?
I talked to Dave, about coming down, I didn't realize that he's all done in what, like 2 or 3 weeks, so, he said that he was gonna reach out to, the other guy that lives here in town, I can't remember his name, slips my mind all the time.
Gallup.
Ian Gallup, thank you. And just see if he was gonna be available that weekend or not. As far as traffic control stuff, we were hoping that, between the 40+ people that have said they were gonna volunteer, a couple of them will know enough about traffic control to be able to handle at least the ins and outs. David talked about, right on the property line where Morrison's field starts, they've got that little road that ducks into the field there. So we're wondering if maybe we ought to do like a parking more towards the pond road side, so there's an in and an out, and just try to keep a lane open. Supposed to go down there today, but it rained and I got hurt last night, so, or early this morning, so. Still quite a few kinks to work out, but I'm trying.
I think it's great.
Hopefully, we're still, also, so my company funded the purchase of the fireworks, because they want to get paid up front.
Yeah.
So, we're taking care of that, and then as other businesses have been donating towards it, we've been sticking it into a separate account so that we can figure out how much we have to write off as a donation as opposed to everybody else, just,
Yeah.
it's been a
And
nightmare.
if
trying to get
if
money
people
together.
wanted to donate, where would they send you a check or make a donation?
I've been having everybody send it right to my house, made out to Vermont Truck and Trailer, and donation or, Doug Flutie Foundation
Okay.
memo. Yeah, I try not to go to the townspeople as far as the fireworks go, because I
Yeah.
know how much that's flopped in the past, and, you know, this is for something that's not town-related, so, I mean, it'll be good for the town, I think, to have it, but, you know, I just wasn't gonna ask people to start opening up their
Yep,
pocketbooks,
no,
especially
just,
over the
just
last
in
few
case,
years.
yeah, but just put it out there, so.
I noticed that even businesses, you know, I'm not saying that there's a big box store across the river in Hinsdale, but I expected to get more than $25 gift card out of them. And, you know, anytime that we've done anything, even fire department related, it's been $100 towards
Yeah.
product and stuff, and realizing how much harder it is now, I plan on having to fund a lot more of it than I thought.
A lot of it's gotta go through corporate with those folks,
Yeah.
anything over, you know, so it's.
But Jesse, what do you estimate the costs that you're putting up front for just the fireworks?
The fireworks are $5,000. Yeah, that was the minimum I could do for a show. They're throwing in some extra for that $5,000 just for what we're doing it for, but, yeah, that was, a couple of friends of mine actually worked for them, and they had planned on shooting it that day for us. That would've saved me $1,000, but turns out their sister has to get married, so.
Can't they get married just right
Right.
there beforehand?
Right.
And the fireworks can be for them too?
Lily pond's right there, perfect backdrop,
Yeah.
yeah. Watch where you step.
Alright.
So you said donations can be made out to your business, Vermont Truck and Trailer.
Yep,
What's your address, mailing address for people?
1793, Fort Bridgman. I know the fire department, or I don't know if Tasha was doing it through the fire department, or if it was separate, the car show that you guys were gonna do with the rec.
That was through the fire
It
department.
was, so she had planned a bunch of games and stuff, so I finally convinced her to incorporate those into what we're doing, so we're hoping to have like 16 or so carnival type smaller games for the younger kids there, and I think it'll end up being an okay day, as long as the weather holds out. And, 7:15 for darkness, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's dark quick after mid-August, so. Any other questions? Any questions from the folks in the?
When is the event,
The 24th September.
Of September?
Yeah. So we're coming up on it here pretty quick.
Great.
Trying to get flyers out everywhere. We've got, any business that I've had donate has put up flyers, and then my mother and brother have gone around, and a couple other friends, and just, hey, would you mind sticking one of these in your window? So they're getting out there, but they're not very big, like just normal paper size. I should have done some of those.
Okay, I entertain a motion on the permit.
I move that we accept the permit for the fireworks display, September 24th.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, Mr. Root?
Aye.
Mr. Dunkley?
Aye.
Ms. Carr?
Aye.
And aye.
Do you guys have to send that back to the fireworks company? Is that how that works? Because they sent you a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah, we have to run library.
Okay, so do you have to send back the signed permit to them?
Probably a copy.
Yeah, let's send a
Okay.
copy.
Thanks,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Shelley, is it all right if I start the signature on this one here, or do you have an original?
I gave you the original. It's paper clipped.
Yeah, well, I unclipped it,
Oh, okay. No worries.
so that's the one I have, okay, and it just looks like a copy.
Make it work.
Well, thank you, we appreciate it.
Thank
I think it'll make a good night, and maybe next year we'll do it a little bit earlier in the year. I don't know, chili and baked beans in July doesn't sound like much fun, so.
No.
We are doing hot dogs and burgers. The fire department's supposed to be manning that station for me, hopefully, if they can get enough people together, so. Sure. Okay, thanks, appreciate it. Have a good night.
Good night, thanks, Justin, very much. Yeah, this goes to the next page, so there's. Well, maybe it's just the three.
That's the.
That's the fire department, yeah, that's the fire department's. I did have a question for the town administrator that just popped into my head. Have we heard anything more from the treasurer as it relates to the investment strategy with the bank changing hands and all of that?
I have not.
Okay,
I will ask her in the morning.
all right. It just happened, I know, but it would be, it's one of those things we don't wanna let filter off into, 6 months from now, we're asking about it again, that's all.
It's one more signature line.
Thank you. Is there any other business to come before the board from the members? Anything from the public? Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, Mr. Root,
Aye.
Mr. Duncan, Ms. Carr.
Aye.
The chair says aye. We will meet again on September 20th at 6:30.